Hello and welcome back to the model bench. Something a little bit different. While I'm waiting on some parts from my other builds, I thought I would do something a little bit different. This is the new iron joint figure from Diamond Select, iron joint collector's figure with light up eyes. Really nice model. Comes with interchangeable hands, comes with the little Hogarth that can sit on his shoulder. But when I saw this, I thought it would be perfect for something I've had an idea for quite a while. If you remember, in the Iron Giant, released in 1999, directed by Brad Bird, right at the end of the film there is a statue erected by the townsfolk of Rockwell, Maine, and Dean, obviously being the sculptor, you know, he made the figure of the Iron Giant, and it's on a nice kind of marble base with a brass plaque. So I thought that would be pretty cool to make as a display piece. Obviously just need a figure to customize. So when I saw this, I thought this would be perfect. It's a nice size, nice detail. It'll be nice to do a complete repaint on it, get a kind of ardent kind of, you know, appearance to the whole thing, as if it's been sculpted. And then I can build the base, the plinth out of foam board, paint it up like marble, and then I get a nice little plaque as well. So this is the figure, really nice. It's got light up eyes as well, and it's very poseable, so it should be perfect. So we've got here the Iron Giant Select Iron Giant Collector's action figure. This action figure of the Iron Giant is based on his appearance in the 1999 film of the same name and has over 16 points of articulation, features light up eyes, and includes multiple interchangeable parts, batteries included, so that's great. So a really nice figure, and I think it'd be a great figure kind of to do a lot of different customizations and different scenes from the movie, which I have planned, so we'll see how they go. But that's the figure, so I think we should get it open, have a look, see what way we can pose it, and we'll go on from there. Here is the figure out of its box, and I've kind of put him in the pose that I feel would be correct for the customization. As you can see, these are the two hands that he came with. It's kind of like the closed fist, so you can do the kind of Superman pose. Then between a combination of these two, kind of an open hand and just a flat hand, I was able to get the required pose. So again, if you look at the screen grabs, he's kind of looking down, and Hogarth will be standing here, and then the other hand is kind of out flat like that. I might be able to manipulate that a bit more just to get the pose correct. This is the Hogarth figure you get with it. Now Hogarth should be standing in the hand. I'm not sure if I'll be able to customize this. I was thinking maybe I could cut off the legs and the knees and straighten them and the whole lot, but I think it might be nearly even be easier just to make one from scratch, because it's going to be all painted metal color anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I can use this as a basis. But it's a fantastic figure, really nice, lots of articulation, and just the detail is lovely. And of course, oops, sorry about that. If you switch him on, then he's got the light up eyes, which is cool. Mouth also can open and close. But yeah, those light up eyes will come in handy for a couple of other ideas I'm thinking of. But even if you look at this, look at the detail on the feet, it's fantastic, really nice. I think once this is painted a kind of ardent colour, and then just weathered and little bits of rust coming off these, it's going to look really good, really amazing. So I have a few ideas from different parts of the film that I can use this figure as a basis. You know, just get a few more maybe and just customise them. I just think they make a really nice display piece. Look at that. Those lights are great, really nice, great little figure. So that are my plans, as I say. Just make a nice little foam base, paint it all marble, put on the little plaque, paint this up like it's ardent, and mount them on top. And I think it'll be a great little unique, because I don't think there is actually anything official from that part of the movie, not that I can remember. He also comes with the Superman or the S plate that he wears. So that just clips on the front. I'll show you that now. Again, having this piece will be very handy on another build that I have in mind of doing the classic Superman pose. So that'll be pretty cool. I can just change out the hands so that they're both kind of the closed fist. So all in all, I'd rate this figure very highly. It's great just as a figure on its own, perfect, but if you want to do any type of customization or, you know, a little bit of modification, it's just perfect. Great start. There's a lot of official maquettes. Mondo did a really big one. And I think Sideshow Collectibles did one as well, but a lot of the time he's just kind of static, or he's standing in the Superman pose. So I don't think there's ever been an official one where it's a recreation of the statue at the end, so that'll be quite cool. That's my plans anyway, so until next time, let's get on with the build. I was in my comic shop, local comic shop recently, and I came across these figures of the Iron Giant from Reaction, and they're a nice little Iron Giant figure. The artwork is lovely. They've got 3 different versions out. Just a standard version, Superman version, and then the battle mode version. But one of the good things I saw, they came with a little Hogarth figure. That's him there, and he's standing up. So I need a Hogarth figure standing up for the statue, and I think this would be perfect. It's the right size. It's out of scale for this figure, but it's the perfect size for the Iron Giant statue I'm building. So I will be using this. I've started cutting up the different foam board sections for the plinth. You can see there, you know, just the different sizes going off the illustration. And the front's going to be something like that. And here's where the plaque's going to go. I have a little mock-up of what it's going to look like, something like that. So I need to get that engraved onto some brass. When you cut foam, you always get this kind of jagged edge, so I'm hoping to eliminate that by using just some putty, and I'll just kind of put a light skim across there, sand it, see how that goes. Once it's all primed, I'm hoping it will be okay. But I'm just going to stick these together with hot glue, start to assemble them like so. Oops. So you know you've got something like that going together. I did a little test of all the pieces together and it looks really well, so I'll crack on with that. And here is the finished plinth. Well, finished as in it just needs a bit of primer now. But oops, that's upside down. So there we are. I did put some putty along the sides, but I actually like the kind of little kind of indentations as well in it. I'm hoping it will give it a bit of a marbly look. So just put a bit of putty on the sides just to keep them smooth. So all in all, very pleased with this, and I'm going to now just give it a coat of white primer, and then I might fill these little gaps here with putty and see how it looks. But so far so good. We'll get on with that. Here is the plinth with the first coat of primer. Came out pretty good. Very happy with that. And again, as I said before, I really like all these little kind of indentations, little dings. Kind of gives the appearance of kind of carved marble. So I'm going to give this now a base coat of light grey, and then I can start doing the marbling effect onto it, and then maybe finish it all with a nice clear gloss coat just to give it that kind of polished marble finish. Then For the figure itself, I wanted that kind of you know, beaten metal kind of look to it. So I actually found some paint. Whoops, there goes Hogarth. I found some paint that when you spray on, it kind of gives a weather effect. I'll throw up a picture now of what it looks like. And while it, you know, the actual texture looks good, I'm not really happy with the colour of it. So then what I did was I sprayed over it just with primer just to see how it looks. And I think it looks really a lot better. Again, I'll throw up a picture now. And I just really like that kind of textured look, but obviously just a uniformed colour. The actual model will be more kind of this colour here once it's sprayed. So I think that might be a good working method, to spray it all with that texturized paint, and then on top of that spray it with the darker kind of metal colour. So it will look metal all over, but it will have a little bit of texture into it. So I think that would be really good. I've masked off the eyes because I think it would still nice to be to keep the glowing effect. So I've just masked them off lightly. I'll probably do it better. And it's just another option then to have, just if I want to light it up. This hand, I'm thinking I'm going to try and put it in boiling water, separate the thumb, and then slightly bend the fingers in, and that will just give them the kind of a look to the hand. Other than that, I think it's pretty good to go. So yeah, onwards and upwards. I made a little bit of progress on the model. I don't know whether you can see that, but I've separated the fingers, and I can now kind of mold them, just make them a little bit more expressive. If you look at the reference image of his hand, they're kind of like that, so it just makes them a little bit more expressive when they hang down by his side. I've also separated the fingers on this one, again just to spread them out a little bit. That's where he's going to be holding Hogarth. I filled in the, as best I could, I filled in the screw holes here, but they're kind of protruding a little bit, so it makes it very difficult. But I'm hoping now once it's sprayed, it will kind of cover that up a little bit better. It'll kind of mesh together a little bit better. I didn't cover this one here because it would be still nice to have access to the battery. So I'll leave that one alone. And also it's on the back. So I think he's ready for priming. Once he's all primed, then actually before I prime him, I'm going to drill 2 little holes in the feet, just put a little bit of a rod into them, and then it can then sit on the base a bit better. But once he's all primed, then I'm going to give him a coat of the kind of textured paint, and then over that I will give him a coat of the dark kind of metal, more or less kind of that colour in there. That's what he looks like in the image. It's kind of like a dark metally colour. So that's where we are at the moment, so I'll keep going. So change of plan. The original textured paint that I had bought, that I showed you earlier, didn't really quite work out, so I found this other one, real feel textured quick drying paint. It's clotted cream, but that doesn't matter because it's only going to be an undercoat. But the result on this one seems to be a lot better. I'll show you now. I've sprayed the model with this and it seems to be a lot better. It seems to be more in scale. So I'll show you that now. So here is the model. Again, don't mind the colour, but yeah, there's a slight little kind of texture here. It looks like kind of metal. I think that will work really well once I put on the next coat. I've just kind of hid it in a few places just to give a little bit of interest, you know. But definitely there seems to be a nice little kind of metal effect here. Just a little bit textured, that's all I was looking for, you know, just not smooth plastic. So I think that should work really well. The next step now obviously is to put on, I think I might put on some dark kind of grey in some of the recesses, and then I'll spray over that with a slightly lighter grey to finish off the model. So we'll see how it goes. Look what arrived today, my plaque. Absolutely delighted with it. I got it on Etsy from a user there called, I think it's Gravitas. I'll put a link in the description, but he does brass plaques and he was brilliant. I gave him my design and we messaged back and forth, and then he did them exactly the way I wanted. So he was really good. Definitely, if you need anything like this, check him out. Comes with a little bit of adhesive on the back. I then drilled 4 holes and just put a little brass pin kind of in it. Just painted it gold, just to give the kind of the look from the model. I'll throw up a picture now. Once the base is painted marble, these should look really nice. So yeah, very happy. So I've sprayed the model. The colour I used was Citadel Standard Grey, and that came out really well. Very happy with it. Obviously going to do a little bit of aging and a little bit of rust maybe around areas, but yeah, really happy with it. Turned out really nice. A few little parts to touch up, but it's got a lovely kind of metally appearance, kind of beaten metal. So really happy with that. So I'll get on and do a little bit of weathering, and we'll see what's what. So here's my base, all airbrushed, marbled. Really happy with this. I'm going to put obviously a gloss coat over it just to give it that kind of glossy marble look. But yeah, really happy with it. So basically what I did was I started off with Ultian Grey. Is it Ultian Grey? I don't know. Anyway, I started off with that grey, just coated the whole thing in that. Then I went with medium grey XF20, kind of did the big areas, kind of really soft. Then I went a little bit darker with dark sea grey XF54, so I kind of went within those the lighter grey, just went in with the darker grey and a little bit thinner. And then finally I just got a standard grey, and with a brush I just went in and did really thin ones, and then even feathered it out by hand with a brush. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's the first time I've ever done marbling with an airbrush, so really happy. Oh yeah, and when the finished one was done, all of this was kind of very strong and it was almost too overpowering, so I just lightly mist over it with the original grey, just all over it, just to tone everything back down, and I think that just worked a treat. So yeah, really happy. So the next step, as I say, is just to give it a gloss coat. I can then put on the plaque and then the ardent joint figure. I'll show you him now. He's had a lot of weathering and bits and pieces. I've stuck Hogarth onto the hand. I've kind of got him in the position now that I want, but as you can see, I've done a lot of kind of weathering and little bits of highlight with silver and little bits of rust running off. Kind of dabbed on the colour as well, just to kind of give splotches. Again, just to give it a little bit of life. And that kind of the colour that I sprayed on, the clotted cream with the texturizer in it, that's really nice. Again, just hitting all the little high spots with the silver, just around the screws, all around, so many little areas just of interest. Yeah, really happy with it. I think it looks excellent, if I do say so myself. And all these little kind of rusts and bits and I don't know what you'd call them, but yeah, really happy with it. His eyes still light up. So hang on. Here, his eyes still light up. So I just thought I may as well leave it. So yeah, pretty good. So that'll be mounted obviously onto the marble base once it's glossed. So that's brilliant.